multi-headed chicken? Oh, it's like Cerberus, but in chicken form. Cerbucus? Hello everybody, my name is Pravus, and welcome back to more Medieval Dynasty. We are currently walking through the town of Gustovia, or whatever it is, looking for Alwin so we can continue with our main quest. Now, in between videos, you can see a bit of time has passed, as I gathered up some much-needed resources and tried to do a couple of quests to get some Dynasty reputation. And what I learned is, I only think I can do about 3, maybe 4 quests per season. They tend to take a lot of time that I don't necessarily have, and they only reward about 10 or 15 Dynasty reputation each. Doing the math, to get another 470, it's going to take me somewhere on the order of 9 to 10 hours of doing nothing but farming out quests to continue with Chapter 9, which, I'm sorry, that's just going to take way too stinking long. There is, however, an alternative, and that is to wait until the beginning of Year 5, when apparently Unigoth's story finally continues. He asks us to collect some taxes, and we get some Dynasty reputation out of that. Though I don't know if it's enough, I wouldn't be surprised if it is. That said, because every day in-game takes somewhere on the order of like 20 to 30 minutes, that's still going to be about 7 hours of just sitting around continually playing the game, doing nothing, twiddling my thumbs until Year 5 begins. That's a very, very long time, so spoiler alert, I hate to say it, but I think this is going to end up being the last episode. I'm sorry if that makes some of you guys sad. It's just this is a bit too much of a grind, and yeah, I just don't think I can handle that. That said, let's go ahead and try to tie some things up with Alwin. We'll make a little bit more progress as of today before we do wrap some things up. Alwin, hello, Hunter. Is it time for our next tournament? We no longer play the target shooting. It's a child's game. Oh, let me guess. He wants us to go and hunt animals. Yep, he wants to do hunting. Okay, he's gained a lot of confidence. He hunted a bear once. Dude, I've killed like 40 at this point. So there we go. They're hard to kill, they're hard to find. I absolutely can find bears. Okay, so he wants me, I'm going to give him 200 coins as a bet. And the question is, can we hunt and kill a bear in the next 8 minutes? And the answer is 100% yes, I can, Alwin. What kind of question is this? Now, I kind of expect to find out that the bears are going to be a lot easier for me to kill. And the reason why is I had to get off of the beta patch. I ran into what I assume is a bug. Either that or I was just completely mismanaging something, where my woodworkers simply were not gathering anywhere near enough materials to keep up with themselves. We were completely out of wood, and I was losing happiness, and people were about to leave me. So I had to go back off the beta patch. That seems to have helped, though what I'm learning is that people do not produce anywhere near enough to meet up with their consumption. That said, Mr. Bear, you need to get hit. Whoa, oh God, okay, yoink! And there we go. You can see it only took a couple of spears to take this bear down. Easy mode. I forgot my knife. I don't really care. So, yeah, I think that's actually going to be a bit of a problem just in terms of, like, the game's, like, maintainability and sustainability. If you have lots of population that is consuming lots of firewood, but they can't produce nearly enough to meet up with consumption, at some point, what that means is as you get a high population, you're going to have to spend half of every single day just getting more wood, more logs and firewood for everyone else. I don't want to have a full-time job as a lumberjack just because the NPCs are weak. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't know. The progression there needs to be fixed a little bit. Production of wood in particular needs to be fixed a little bit. But as you can see here from management, we are producing way too much food. So, I don't know, like, they don't produce enough wood. This is almost all my handiwork, but they do produce more than enough food. Kind of weird, right? I'm hoping to see that changed in the future, because otherwise, it just means the late game is unsustainable. Now, the one plus side of having lots of workers is that I am producing enough materials that I can start making a serious amount of money. As you can see here, I have about 5,000 gold. Some of that is my handiwork, but a lot of that is also just taking loads of extra raw food, cooking it into something useful like pottage, and then selling off like a couple hundred of it. And all of a sudden, you find yourself with a lot more gold. So having lots of workers definitely creates money. Now, that could help balance the game out a little bit if there were more viable people to trade with for a reasonable price. Take that money, set up some trade routes, buy some wood and stuff, and help make up for the difference. That would help, but that's also not really a thing either. So I don't know. It's another area of potential improvement. Either fix up the production of your people to make them more useful, or perhaps make trading a more viable thing, where perhaps you have to set up trade routes, or maybe even hire some of your workers as traders to every day go and buy certain materials and sell different things, so you have that completely automated. Or maybe you set up some trade routes between different towns because the demand and the prices vary between towns, and that kind of thing would be nice too. There's a lot of ways you could improve that, basically. 100 ways to skin a cat, and the developers could change the game up in a lot of different ways. Alwin, we killed a bear. Someone ordered a big bad bear. You don't know how to win. Really? I thought it's the only thing I can do. All right, that's enough. He's giving me some money, and now I'm carrying too much because I have a longbow. Well, thank you for that. I earned a longbow. Nice. No, you won fair and square, and I don't deserve it. I should go back to work in the field. Are you being just a little powder? I think he's being a little powder. Oh my gosh. All right. Dreams are beautiful, but real life is something different. Wow. So, Alwin, we have to wait for another season because he got all peeved that I beat him at hunting, and he's like, well, I guess I can't do anything. I'll just go back in the fields. What a whiner. You know, since we were speaking about skinning a cat, there are other ways that this game could improve as far as, like, production and needs and such to kind of progress technologically. Like, since one of the issues we have is that people are consuming more wood than they can produce, right? One way you could fix that is reduce their consumption, just by tweaking the numbers in the game, or, better yet, incentivize you to start creating daubs so you can make houses more efficient so they need less wood in the first place. And that's what the game intends for you to do with using clay and stuff in order to upgrade your houses. But the problem is, because you made daub such a late-game technology, you have to have been farming consistently for like 3 or 4 years just to get the technology to create daub in the first place. Maybe that needs to be accessible at least a couple of technology levels earlier, or something like that. That at least encourages the player to think about how to become more efficient and to progress technologically, which fulfills the goal of the devs, while also meeting your need to actually get, you know, wood production back on track. That's a good way to progress things. I would say that that's something worth doing. I don't know. It just feels like there's a lot of different ways that progression, in particular, needs to be fixed up in this game. Okay, now we have enough wood to last us for at least a bit longer. This is the point where I now have to spend the rest of my day just getting logs so I can do construction projects. Glad that I have at least access to the iron axes. That sure as heck does make my life a lot easier. So there is some benefit for technological progression. I like that. I don't know. Maybe if you could equip your people with different tools, right? Give all your workers iron axes so they become more efficient and you get more logs per hour. That would be a pretty cool way of doing things in the game, too. I feel like this entire episode is just me complaining about the game. I'm really not trying to. I'm just trying to think, since this is the last episode, what are ways to make it better? Not that I'm, you know, an expert in that in any stretch, but at least I've got some experience at this point. I put like, you know, 20, 30 hours into the game at this point, so I have a pretty good sense of it. I think there are a lot of ways that this game could be improved, and that's why I want to talk about it, because I think this game has so much potential, you know? Here's a fun little bug that actually works in my favor, by the way. The food storage, I'm way over what it says is an actual viable food storage. It seems like there's sort of an unlimited storage space in here, which is good, because I'm sitting on an absolute load of food, so at least that works for me. All right, so taverns, I don't think they can be upgraded directly using the hammer, as nice as that would be. Yeah, if I want to go to a tavern too, the only way to make this work is actually to destroy the entire building, which I'm going to have to do now. Unfortunately, because this is going to take a lot of resources to build level 2, but all right, all this has to go now. Sorry, guys, I hope you didn't want a tavern, because it's going bye-bye. I'll build a new one soon enough. Actually, you know something I wouldn't mind doing, since we now have a free worker who's not doing anything, even though he wasn't doing anything to begin with. Boom, by the way. There we go. Maybe we should just go get some chickens. Yeah, maybe I should get some chickens so that he can go and, like, do something and actually handle the animals. We can do that real quick. Hang on, let's go to the nearby village and see if they've got some chickens. Oh, by the way, I did learn that What are you doing walking through the river? Sir, are you okay? Whatever, anyway. I did learn that people can breed in your village. If you do assign a man and a woman to the house, eventually they'll come to like each other a little bit and their mood improves, and then there should be a chance for them to have some kids. Of course, at that point, the woman also has what Nyelaba is, which is to become a mother for the next 2 years and basically not be very useful. So, it may not ever really be worth having kids. It's easy enough just to hire new people. But that is technically something you could do, if you wanted. Alrighty, where can I place down a level 2 tavern? Let me guess, the terrain is too uneven. Well, we could sort of put it over here. Oh, can we put it over here? I want to put it close to the food storage, if at all possible. This sort of works. Freaking heck, getting this to line up. Ah! Gosh. Okay, right there. Yes, done. Alright, an upgraded tavern is on the way. And it's going to take a ton of logs. And that should finish up tavern level 2. Okay, so that's done. We are now on par with the nearby village. This looks pretty good even. We've got a stove for crafting, pies, tarts, bread. Oh, all these things look amazing. Buckets of water. That's an ingredient I need now? Oh, wow. Okay, well, either way, there's a lot of cool stuff you can do now with the Tavern Level 2, and it looks pretty nice. Again, using some of them wooden shingles, so we are clearly advancing a little bit. At some point, you can build stone buildings, which would be very nice. And I have to imagine harvesting stones could be a little bit easier than harvesting all the wood, because the wood doesn't seem to regenerate very quickly, whereas the mines, oh, those regenerate pretty darn quick, like every day or so. All right, let's go find Alwin the Whiner, because he's still peeved at me somewhere, and we want to continue our quest. There's the loser. Back out working the fields, huh? Instead of chasing your dreams like I did. Hello, my friend, how are you doing? Well, just like the first day we met, you don't look happy. Why do you think so? You don't have to worry so much. Are you sure this is the world you want? Okay, talk to Sambor. Really, though? You want me to go and talk to Sam? Why is Sambor way out here? Oh, he has totally relocated. Why? I do not know the answer to that question, but Sambor is really far away. Okay, we're gonna go talk to him and see if he'll take on a hunter's apprentice or something. Oh, did you finally realize you don't belong out here, Sambor? That's good. Let's talk to you. Let's see. Greetings, great hunter. I come in peace, as opposed to coming in hostility, which I would never do. Do you remember Alwin? Did you like him? Look, he's a good hunter, but it hurt him a lot when he lost against me. Please take him along. You won't get any younger. Wouldn't you like some sort of an apprentice? I would be grateful if you didn't kill me now. Okay, well, great. We're gonna go tell him that he can have some hunting lessons. Alright, back to Alwin. I do think questing would get a lot easier at this game if you could transport around the map a lot faster. And as far as I know, they are planning on adding horses into the game at some point. We can find that out if we go to skills over here, and is it under, like, hunting or something? No, not that one. Farming. Night Rider. Unlocks the ability to ride horses. Yeah, not implemented yet. But horses are going to be added into the game at some points, and I'm sure that's going to change up transportation. Either that, or horses are going to cost an absolute ton to maintain like they do in the real world, and it's just not going to be worth it. I don't know. Choice is up to you. Okay, Alwin, without your consent, I went and got you a different job to force you to chase your dreams. Get ready. You are going to be the apprentice of Sambor. Did he tell you that? Well, he didn't use those exact words, but I mean, he kept the meeting. Chuck all this and become a lonesome hunter like him? One of the best in the lands. Yeah, don't you want this? Sure, wish I could. I loved it, but it's not that simple. Yes, it is. You're a grown man. Oh, my gosh. Well, let's see. Tracked animals. I don't even have a bow anymore. You gave me your bow. I can just give the bow back to you, right? Oh, now you want a recurve bow. You want an upgrade? That's expensive. You jerk. You know, maybe part of the problem with the production of my workers is they kind of think that they don't need to produce more whenever the regular resource storage gets up above 300 kilograms, which it was. I'm actually in the process of emptying a lot of it out right now, but it was above that, so maybe they just stopped producing during that time, and that's kind of exacerbating the issues I'm having in terms of log production. Could very well be the case. I could see that being a thing, and we could upgrade our resource storage. That is an option for us. I think we have resource storage level 2 available. Not there. Hang on. Storage is... Yes, storage level 2. Even more storage space. Probably would be a good idea, but we already know it's going to take me like 80 logs to make, and I have to empty the entire storage first, which we could do. It's just... Yeah, that'll take a long stinking time. You know, let's not worry about that. Let's just go get the recurve bow. Maybe Alwin's gonna give me 500 dynasty reputation. I don't know. Oh, 665 gold. Good lord. Frickin' Alwin. You are the actual worst. I hate you so much. We're gonna unstuck and move super fast across the map, because that took forever to walk across. You know, if there were enough flat ground around here, I would say placing your first village in the unstuck location would be amazing. Like, it could be really, really good for you. Unfortunately, I think it's too hilly of a terrain, so probably not. Alwin, here's your stupid bow. We have a recurve bow worthy of a good hunter. Smaller and easier to carry around than a longbow. Same power, if not more. Okay. That's awfully generous of you. I don't know how to track down a Wisent. You will learn that from Sambor. Gosh dang it. Okay, you're wasting my time now. Are you going to tell me to go and freaking tell you how to kill a Wisent? You gave me an iron hoe and a scythe. Oh, okay. Wait, does this mean that Alwin's story is actually completely done? Oh, it's completely off my list! Oh, good, I never have to worry about him again! He didn't give me a lick of dynasty reputation. Alright, good. Oh, let's not also forget to occasionally repair some of our buildings. If we take a look at our management right here at our buildings, you can see that one of these houses is damaged. Can fix that by taking the hammer, go to repair, and there's the section we need to fix. A couple of new sticks, and ba-boom, that thing is now fixed. Kind of important to do that, because damaged housing tends to make people unhappy, and you obviously don't want that, because if their happiness drops down enough, then they will start to leave you en masse. And that would not be good, considering how long it took for me to get these guys in the first place. I'm going to start emptying out this resource storage, because I suspect that we are going to need to upgrade our resource storage in order to get people to continue working. I do think that this capacity is probably part of the problem. So, if we can empty that out, maybe we can get an upgrade, and then people will do their work a little bit more efficiently. The problem is we have to do this kind of overnight, because people only get their logs out of a resource storage, not a woodshed, as far as I'm aware. So, if we don't have this building, then I'm pretty sure people are going to say, we don't have any logs, and their mood is going to drop, and that would be obviously not good for the reasons I just mentioned. So, let's do this overnight, even though it's going to take me forever. Okay, should be clear. Let's go ahead and start knocking this dang thing down. Ka-boom! There it goes. All right, no more resource storage for me. We need to fix that, though. Let's get ourselves a new storage space. It's going to take 10 logs. I got plenty sitting right out here, so that's not going to be an issue. Now, can we fit it in the same approximate spot? That's not looking good. Maybe not. Oh, crud. Ooh, okay. Well, wait. I saw it for a brief moment. Up! We can fit it. There we go. All right, now we got to build a new one. And I've already used up all of my logs, of which I had like 60, and we're not even halfway done with this. Oh my god. Can we at least introduce the ability to plant trees or something so I have something closer to the base? Because that would be lovely too. Okay, is this finally the last section? No, what am I missing? There's something left. It's this one right over here. Hang on. We got just enough logs to take care of this. Resource storage level 2, complete, and it has double the capacity. Well, that could actually end up being very helpful, and it does look nice. Though honestly, considering it has the exact same floor plan, why I couldn't just upgrade the building? I don't know, but there we go. All right. Now, of course, we have basically no wood to speak of, so I need to go and repopulate our stores. And that is also going to take a while. Buddy, you know there's a bridge right here, right? You know that there's a bridge. Okay, you know what? You do you. Hope you guys like mass-produced stew. Honestly, I kind of feel like maybe the degradation of food needs to be a little bit reworked as well. It does feel like there's kind of no consequences for mass-producing a load of food, and right now, I mean, we've got 12,000 nutritional units of food. We only consume 11 per hour, so I've got enough to last me for a very, very long time. Still, I mean, it is satisfying. It's a heck of a way of getting a lot of crafting experience, so that's certainly something. Yeah, like right here, for example, look at this. The hunter's storage that's out here in the middle of the woods is... What the heck? Why are there freaking leaves coming through it? Is completely filled up. These are all resources that are not being sent off to the food storage. Now, that might be because the food storage is grossly over its apparent infinite capacity. It's supposed to only hold like 50 kilograms. It's currently holding like 400. So maybe that's it, is that they're just not sending the resources back because where's it gonna go? And they've already filled up their own capacity, so they're not working. So maybe the NPCs do work a little bit better than I thought they would. I'm not too sure. I still think that wood is technically a problem, just because if we take a look at some of these woodsheds and stuff, we can see how much they are producing, and right now it's like 1.2 logs per hour at that work shed, and this one's going to have 2.4 per hour, and this one has 1.2. So it should be a combined of about 4.8 logs per hour, but we're consuming 5.6. Now throw in the firewood, we actually might be just now breaking even the way things are currently set up. And the more skilled your workers get, the better it gets. So I don't know, maybe it really was just a matter of getting our resource storage figured out. And if that's the case, don't be surprised if you end up needing to build at least a couple of these resource depots, because holy crap, they do use up that space very, very quickly. Also, divert your resources to places where it makes sense. Why have leather over here when I can just send it over to the tailoring area, right? Yeah, that makes a little bit of sense. Either way, though, I think this is actually a good place for us to be ending up this series. Right now, I don't have a whole lot to do. My journal is kind of empty. I'm not going to be doing a million quests right now, even though I would get 5,000 Dynasty reputation. It's just going to take me way too long to pull that one off. And I'm not going to spend another 6 hours waiting for year 5 so I can continue with Unigoth's story. This needs to kick off around year 3, I think. That's what it really needs to do. But, oh well. So, I had a lot of fun with this game. I do think that it has a heck of a lot of potential and could become really fun in the next few months or so as the game continues to develop. But right now, it does need a bit of rebalancing, which is to be expected in early access. I'm not trying to hate on that too much. I'm just looking for ways for the game to improve. Right now, I'd say maybe I'm misunderstanding production. Maybe that's actually completely fine as it is, and I've just been doing it wrong with storage space. If that's the case, great. I'm glad we found the bottleneck. Otherwise, it does feel like they overproduce in some areas like food and don't consume enough there. there, and also underproduce in some other areas, so it becomes a bit of a chore. And then character progression does feel like it needs a bit of work. Dynasty Reputation just takes forever to get, and feels like it's never really worth your time. Also, character progressions and skills feel unbalanced, right? We've done a fair bit of hunting, and I'm still only level 2 on that, whereas like crafting and survival, no problem at all. We've got plenty of skill points in that, and yet if we then go to technology, we would find that our survival technology is lagging behind a lot of other things, but other stuff is doing just fine. So I don't know, it just feels like a lot of that needs to be tweaked. Those are just numbers though. That's not really so bad. And I will say it's pretty cool that we can have a family. You know, Yelba's looking pretty happy taking care of our little infant son, and that's awesome, though it is sad that she doesn't get to go outside, like, ever. I feel like she should wander around a little bit. But, you know, the NPCs and their interactions, it can be pretty fun. I do think that conversations need to get reworked. That's too much of a roll of the dice. It doesn't feel like there's any rhyme or reason as far as talking to people. I'd like to see diplomacy get worked out a little bit more, and maybe some better trading systems implemented, you know? All of these things, I think, would make Medieval Dynasty into a better game, and I'm looking forward to checking it out as it continues to develop over the next year or so to see if it has indeed improved and turned into one heck of an RPG. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this series. If so, then I would ask you to hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, hit that notify bell, and I will see you guys next time.